Here we are again. Hello and welcome to Fit to Box channel. I'm Simon, former amateur boxer, current amateur boxing coach, and this morning we have another big fight in quick succession following on from last week's big fight between Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte. This week we have a massive women's fight between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. And I'm just looking here, I've got it on DAZN. I've actually got it on my phone. I can't get DAZN to cast across to my television, so I've got my phone on a tripod. I'm here with my scorecard, old school here, and we're just about to watch this fight. So Katie Taylor is just sitting, she's ready, she's in the dressing room, and then Amanda Serrano is there warming up in her dressing room. Amanda Serrano wearing some blue and orange rival gloves, and Katie Taylor is wearing Leone gloves. So yeah, as I say, it's on DAZN. DAZN, when that first came out here in the UK, was £1.99 a month, which was amazing. Was like that for quite a while, and then it went up from £1.99 to £7.99 a month. And in disgust at the price rise, I cancelled off DAZN, put it all over me Instagram, took a massive stand against it. It lasted about 3 weeks, and before you know it, I'd resubscribed because there was some more boxing on that I wanted to watch. So the important thing here is you've got to have principles and stick to them. But at the end of the day, boxing is boxing, and you know, it's only £7.99 at the end of the day. So what can I say? So yeah, we're going to watch this fight. It's going to be fantastic. I cannot believe at Madison Square Garden, topping the bill is this ladies' fight. I mean, how far has women's boxing come? And the fact that I'm doing a video on it also shows you how far that women's boxing has come. So what I've done is I've done my usual thing. I've been to bed for a couple of 3 hours, and I've come back. I've woke up, set the alarm, and I've woke up and I've started to not only watch the fight, but to talk to myself in my living room, to you guys as I'm watching the fight. So it's all good, it's all good. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fantastic. My prediction was, which I put on my Instagram. If you're not on my Instagram, it's at Fit to Box channel. I think my Instagram's absolutely fantastic, actually. I watch a lot of Instagram, and my account's got to be right up there because it's, yeah, I'm pretty active on there. I really do like Instagram. I'm not very good on Twitter. I've got off that, and Facebook, barely do anything on Facebook. But Instagram definitely is a social media platform that I enjoy. I did go onto TikTok for a brief period of time, but that wasn't good. Let me just say that the best and the worst things can be seen on TikTok. Yeah, and I end up with nightmares what's on there. But yeah, if you got kids, keep them off TikTok is my advice to you. Strange, very strange social media that. 35, age 35, Katie Taylor, age 33, Serrano, 5'5" and 5'5.5". Katie Taylor, 5'5", 5'5.5", Serrano, 134.6 and 133.6 is the respective weights. We've got no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule, cannot be saved by the bell in any round. The doctor or the referee can stop the fight. Accidental foul, go to the scorecards after 4 rounds. Okay, so they're sort of the rules of the contest. It's going to be 10 rounds, and it's of course being women, it is 10 2-minute rounds. Amanda Serrano, of course, at the weigh-in did say that they ought to do it 12 threes like the men, and Katie Taylor, although said she could do that, did sort of say, well, you know, there's no real point in doing that. I think she was thinking about the money. She'd already agreed money for the amount of work that she was going to put in, and did she really want to do a whole lot more work for the same amount of money? So I can't knock her. I think that's absolutely right. So they're just we've had Sweet Caroline. which is normal in this country, but they're doing it now in America. And then in the ring, we have got David Diamante as the main man. David Diamante, not so long back, I think he had a motorbike accident, and there was lots on Instagram about whether he was going to be okay. But he looks fine now. He's made a very fast recovery, and he is now working for DAZN. He's got his hair in a strange bun. His hair is very, very long, and it's in a strange bun now. I've seen him do that before. So now what we've got looks like the national anthems that they're going to start to sing. And we have, first of all, we've got a lady who's got hair very much like Sideshow Bob. I'm not knocking it. I'm jealous, if anything. But yeah, so she is now going to ring. Oh yeah, she's singing. She's singing what presumably is the national anthem of Puerto Rico. Although I don't recognise it, I have to say. Not a national anthem that I am particularly aware of. But you've got Serrano. She's waiting. You've got this girl belting out this tune now. And coming up next, Taylor versus Serrano. The crowd are enjoying this rendition. They're all joining in, and that's good. That's good. And Serrano is a tough lady. I mean, she can fight. Let me sort of say that. Previous to this fight, Liam Smith beat Jesse Vargas, and really pleased. Just caught the last couple of rounds of that, whereby Liam Smith stopped him, and Jesse Vargas sort of may be in retirement now. I have to say, the way that Jesse Vargas was in the face-to-face, I didn't know much about that contest. I hadn't taken in much of that contest in terms of what was going to happen, but how Jesse Vargas was speaking to Liam Beefy Smith on that weigh-in, I couldn't wait for Liam to beat him, to be honest, and I'm so pleased that it's happened. I think he was massively disrespectful, and Liam can fight. Let me tell you, Liam can fight. So, okay, that was the end of the national anthem for Puerto Rico. And now we are having the Irish national anthem by a lady in a sparkly emerald green dress, and the Irish are joining in her rendition. And yeah, she sounds like she's got a lovely voice. And it's just switching now to Katie Taylor, who looks focused in the dressing room. And I have to say, I love Katie Taylor when she fights. I think she's great. And yeah, this girl's doing a great rendition here of the Irish national anthem. Yeah, and the crowd all joining in. What an occasion this is for women's boxing. Absolutely fantastic. And you know, it's not that long ago, and I've said this before, but it's not that long ago, probably 20 years, that I saw Jane Couch at Birmingham, and the people in the audience, men in the audience, turned their seats around so that they couldn't see the fight. They did not want to see women boxing. And now Madison Square Garden, New York, hosting the main event being women's boxing. That is a tremendous achievement in such a small amount of time. And Katie Taylor has done a massive part of that with lifting the sport for women. And now, oh, we've got the American national anthem now. Okay, so yeah, obviously we've got some service people from America in the ring, and we've got this girl here who's belting out the Star Spangled Banner, and she seems like she's doing a good job. Yeah. Yeah, she's doing all right with this. So this is all part of the build-up. You know, it can go on a while. You know, they can be in the dressing room a long time. They can be in the ring a long time. But with a big fight like this, you've got to expect the national anthems. In this country, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Do they? Have I ever seen where they do 3 national anthems? I can't recall it. But then again, mainly if it's a world title in our country, then it's involving a British fighter. So they would have the God Save the Queen, plus the opponent's national anthem. Of course, here we've got Ireland, Puerto Rico, and it's based in America. So America is having their national anthem sung. WBC produced another belt for this one. You know, it's got half Ireland, half Puerto Rico, and yeah, so again, the WBC belt maker, probably one of the most busiest guys out there, making new belts on a daily basis for whatever reason. It can be, you know, Tyson Fury versus Dillian White last week, Taylor Serrano this week, cycling safety next week. Who knows who's going to get a WBC special belt? I mean, maybe I would get one for, I don't know, YouTube boxing equipment, you know. WBC, if you want to send me a WBC belt, brilliant. I'll showcase it on the channel. Don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. You never know. Who thought that women's fights were going to be headlining Madison Square Garden? Give me 20 years, I might have myself a massive YouTube channel and a commemorative WBC belt. Yeah, we can all dream. We can all dream. So Serrano is walking to the ring, and in the background I can see Jake Paul, and either he's hurt his arm because he's got a sling on, or he's doing a new fashion statement. But it looks like he might have hurt his arm or his shoulder. So here he is. So today, on such a big fight, Buffer and Jimmy Lennon Jr. have both been given the night off, and David Diamante is stepped up, and yeah, I think he seems to be the heir apparent to the ring announcer title, if you can call it, because Jimmy Lennon Jr. and Michael Buffer, legends that they are not getting any younger. And at some stage, I do wonder whether or not they want to retire. But, you know, I don't want them to retire because I think they're both ace, but definitely they are not in their 20s, let me say that. And David Diamante, very interesting character. Listened to a podcast of David Diamante before, and let me tell you, it was a really entertaining podcast. When it comes to podcasts, I listen to a lot of podcasts. When I'm driving to the gym and when I'm coming back, I put a podcast on. Sort of podcasts I listen to, Tris Dixon, Boxing Life Stories, excellent podcast. I fully recommend it. Some great episodes on there. The Peter McNeely one was probably the worst, just because he kept shouting and then going really quiet, and then shouting and going really quiet. Nearly blew my eardrums out a couple of times, did Peter McNeely. So yeah, be careful if you drive in the car and you're listening to Boxing Life Stories, Peter McNeely. Yeah, I wouldn't listen to that one in the car. But apart from that, there's some fantastic ones by Tris Dixon on Boxing Life Stories. And I also listened to Spencer Oliver and the guy from EastEnders, whose name is Jake. And again, you know, that's a good podcast to listen to, mainly because they're just like, they don't care in terms of what they say, and they have a good laugh as well. So many a time they're just laughing, and the sound of laughter and boxing, brilliant. Okay, so just looking now, Amanda Serrano is still walking in. Oh, this must be a massive walking but she's still walking in. She's really pumping up the crowd. Yeah, this is a massive opportunity, because this will, you know, the winner of this fight really is undisputed women's champion, and that's a title that both of these girls have been after for a very long time. Yeah, my prediction, Katie Taylor on points. I just think she's so skillful. Her boxing IQ, her work rate, I think that she will win on points. Don't get me wrong, I think it would be a very different fight if it was over the 12-3s, but it's not, it's 10-2s, and I think that Katie Taylor can keep up her pace over that time, especially for a fight like this. Right, Serrano is now in the ring, and we're just waiting for Katie Taylor to come in. But yeah, it was, that's my prediction. I think that there might be a couple of nervous moments for Katie Taylor, because Serrano is a very big hitter and she brings the heat. So Katie Taylor is walking towards the ring now. She's just come out of her dressing room. She looks focused, steely-eyed, shark-like when she got that stare, like literally shark-like, I think, especially during the stare down. You know, Katie Taylor just looks through you, looks into your soul. And the guy, he's working hard tonight. The guy behind Katie Taylor, who's got the job of carrying all of her belts. His arms, his shoulders will be working overtime with all of those belts. Yeah, as what we got there, we've got the WBC, we've got the Ring magazine, we've got the WBA, the IBF. What's that one? See, the women's ones as well, is they change. I think it's the WBO. WBO is pink. The IBF, I think they do like a light baby blue for the women. Okay, I don't know why they changed it for that, for the women. There, you know, perhaps they should have gone with the red of the IBF, the normal red. And then in the background there, David Diamante introducing, and in the background we have the commemorative WBC belt, which one of these two ladies is going to take away, and that'll be a special one. No one will fight for that belt again. It is just a commemorative one that will go to mark this fight and the specialness of this fight. So then just got on the big screen a few highlights of Katie Taylor. What an ambassador for women's boxing this woman is. You know, such a decorated amateur career, and now we're at the stage where she's nearly so close to undisputed, and this will be a fascinating fight. So Katie Taylor, she's wore on occasion, early in her career, she was in Reyes, and then she had quite a long period where she was wearing rival boxing gloves, and now she's with Leone from Italy. Leone is an Italian brand with a very long history of making boxing equipment, and there is not many professionals at the top level that are wearing Leone. So they've obviously sought out Katie Taylor and probably waved a little bit of cash, and Katie Taylor is now wearing those gloves above the rival gloves that she was wearing for, as I say, probably most of her career. And yet, instead of having sort of 6 people to carry a belt each, Katie Taylor has opted for one guy to hold them all. Now, it looks impressive, I have to say, but that guy's shoulders are going to be burning at this point as he walks down the ring walk. He's just holding them like this, and they're all there. A proud moment for him. But she is going to fight tooth and nail to keep those titles, and I really hope that she does. She is just superb. She is just taking in the atmosphere that is here. Plumes of smoke going up in the air right on the walkway as she walks to the ring. And she is a special fighter. And so is Amanda Serrano, I believe 7 times world champion at different weights. I mean, what an achievement. You are talking here the best meeting the best. And I think that is why women's boxing is doing so well, because what they are doing is they are fighting each other and they don't care who they are fighting. They will fight anyone. And where the men's boxing has let itself down over the years, where the big fights sometimes don't happen for like 5, 6, 7 years, from after when they should happen. What women's boxing are doing is they're having the top fights at the right time. And you know, people like Ebony Bridges, they don't mind picking up a loss, and they're just going for it. And it's refreshing in boxing to see. And the men need to take a leaf out of the women's book, and when there's a big fight there, they need to just take it, put it on the line, risk the undefeated, or risk their risk the loss, and get in there and fight and give the fans what they want. I think it's been a big success in the UFC, where obviously the UFC has only got the one governing body, so they just make any matches that they want. But in boxing, I think it has suffered from this sort of different boxing commissions, different boxing belts, different promoters, different television stations and networks, which have stopped or delayed many a big fight. And I'm just glad that in the women's that doesn't seem to be happening. So Katie Taylor, the gum shield has just gone in. She's in the ring. She's got Gymshark across her top, and she is wearing her black and gold as she normally does. They're ringing the bell. This fight is gonna start any second now. So David Diamante is just doing the introductions for both fighters. And again, from sort of me switching the camera on to them being in the ring, we are looking at 22, 23 minutes already. That's how long it takes from them saying let's go. I mean, I've had to wait round in many a venue, especially amateur, for my fighter to get in the ring, but it doesn't take them 22 minutes to get from the ring, from the dressing room to the ring in amateur boxing, let me tell you. And yeah, but in professional, so much stuff to go through, and we are just looking across the ring. Katie Taylor, as I say, she looks like she is ready, and I cannot wait for this. Serrano in an orange top with her hair braided and her rival boxing gloves on, and what looks like Empire Pro Tape glove tape. Okay, if you've got any lace-up gloves, and we have this at the gym, Empire Pro Tape do a glove tape. Okay, I'm not paid by Empire Pro Tape. It sounds like a bit of an advert, that does. But all I can say is the amount of times that I've seen people using other tape, and when they take it off, the glue on the back of the tape has damaged the gloves. Oh, breaks my heart, Empire Pro Tape glove tape is great tape, and also when you take it off, it doesn't damage your gloves. So a little tip from the top there for you. Don't get damaging your lace-up gloves in training or in big fights when you've got a company like Empire Pro Tape that are doing a specific glove tape for the outside of the wrist. So not only do they do the great gauze and also the inside tape for the hand, they also do the outer tape for the wrist of the glove. Now, You know, it's specifically made for that. So and that's the problem with these other tapes. They're not made for that. They're made for something else. So that's why when you take the tape off, like some of the paint off the leather on the, or you know, the actual leather on the wrist of the glove, it gets damaged just by the tape. Okay, so 42, 1-1, Amanda Serrano. I mean, what a record that is. She fought, I would say she's fought everyone. Just introducing her now in that corner. Great record, great record. What a fighter she is. She looks very, very confident. This is top action here. Okay, the Puerto Rico, famous boxing country, Puerto Rico. So yeah, if you think about all the countries in the world, there's only a handful that could really be said to be a producer of top boxers, and Puerto Rico is definitely in that mix. So then we're going to go across to Katie Taylor, and David Diamante now introduces Katie. Yes, again the Irish flags. You've got Eddie Hearn, who's wearing a dicky bow for this occasion, and I think he's done a £1 million bet with Jake Paul. So Eddie Hearn must be a little bit worried at this point, because £1 million, and Eddie Hearn likes his money, let me tell you. So he's backed his girl, and fair play to him. He was a bit reluctant to shake on that, but I don't know whether that was because he didn't believe in Katie Taylor. I don't think it was. I think it was more that he was thinking about £1 million. £1 million. Yeah, it's a lot of money, that is, for a bet. So yeah, he's gone into high stakes gambling. Could pay off, or he could be being told off tomorrow by his dad, Barry Hearn, who will say. But I think Barry Hearn in his day was probably a man to throw the dice as well. So yeah, it could pay off big time for Eddie Hearn, and he's right next to Katie Taylor, and he's been a big cheerleader for her, actually. I think he might be jumping in the ring later if Katie Taylor wins. I don't know who'll be more happy, Katie Taylor or Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn, I think, loves a pound note, Eddie Hearn. Okay, so Serrano is she's actually talking to Katie Taylor in the middle of the ring. Katie's looking at her as if she's bemused, as if to say, like, why are you talking to me in the middle of the ring? We're about to fight. But yeah, nice. They've touched gloves, and let's see if Amanda Serrano can back up that sort of pre-fight. I don't know if she was trying to psych her out there, but I don't think you're going to psych out Katie Taylor. I really don't. She looked then bemused that was happening. But there we go, and here we are. Serrano, deep breath, and round one is underway, and Serrano comes out in the southpaw stance. Now remember, Katie Taylor had a decorated amateur career. Katie Taylor will have faced every style. She really would. She was that good. So now Serrano has come out as a southpaw, Katie Taylor in her normal orthodox, and they're just throwing out. They've started a fast pace already, pumping out the jabs, just trying to find the range. Katie Taylor, her style is in, out, very fast, land lots of shots and move, and first blood to Katie Taylor, in and out, lovely, and she whisks away. Serrano is stalking her down, still in the southpaw stance, but again the better of that exchange is Katie Taylor. Again, Serrano out, flicking out that jab. Again, she gets a punch back from Katie Taylor. So here we go, she's trying to put on the pressure. Again, Katie Taylor responds. And I have to say, this is how I thought this fight might go. And as early as getting into the second minute of the first round, and already there's a pattern establishing of Katie Taylor being the one that comes out of the exchanges better. So Serrano, though, is a tough woman. She is not going to give up in this fight lightly, and she's still going to be, as I thought, the person who's going to be stalking, trying to get in those massive shots that she's got. She can punch hard with her left hand and her right hand, and yet just starting to make a little bit of an indentation on Katie Taylor. The feet then just clashed, and that is the end of the first round. And the end of the first round, Katie Taylor, 10-9 for me. 10-9, old school, pen and pad is the way. And I do think, in my mind, I do think this will go, especially with the 2-minute rounds, I do think that this will go the distance. But yeah, Katie Taylor's trainer there, he's sort of giving her instructions, and that was a good round for Katie Taylor. I like that. So again, Katie Taylor back in with a rear hand, and again, this is going to be the story of the fight. Serrano trying to get in, and now they're in close, and Katie Taylor really does react quick when they're in close. Yeah, so fighting in the clinch, yeah. And then Katie Taylor in, landing her shots, whisking away, as I thought she would. Again, that backhand, moving in, backhand, little bit of an exchange, but Serrano swings and misses again. And this is the skill, the high level of skill that Katie Taylor brings to the game. Okay, so she's trying to trap her up the corner, and some good exchanges again between these two. This is a high level boxing match, and a very interesting boxing match again. And Serrano is just keeps moving forward. She just gets a little left up to the head there, caught her momentarily off balance, but fighting off the back foot. Katie Taylor, good head movement, coming back, landing her shots, moving. And Serrano at the moment is struggling to close the gap or to get the better out the two exchanges. But she just walking forward, and Katie Taylor is just judging that distance beautifully. Okay, again, they're both a little bit too far out at the minute. That shows you the importance of this fight. And I have to say, I think that's second round. I think that's Katie Taylor again. So I've got Katie Taylor winning both of them. Now we're going on to an advert. As part of my £7.99, Deontay Wilder is on an advert. Who's this for? Everlast, maybe? Yeah, Everlast. We've got an advert for Everlast there. So Everlast not involved in this particular contest, but of course a famous boxing brand, and also that was saying that they were available from Sports Direct, which is a big chain over here in the UK. I don't think Sports Direct are in America. Again, say in the comments whether they are. I don't think they are. I think they're a British thing. Yeah, they're a big sporting, low cost sportswear in Britain. Round 3. Again, yeah. I didn't pick up on Serrano being a southpaw, but she must be, because she's come out again in southpaw stance. So I haven't particularly got the commentary on that high, because I don't to affect this video. But yeah, now they're coming in, and Serrano trying to rough up Katie Taylor, but Katie Taylor is doing a good job of giving it back if they do come together. Yeah, another swing and a miss by Serrano. Katie Taylor is just so good when it comes to distance, and that speed as well. It's the speed of exchanges that she's so good, and it's multiple punches. Again, they come in close. And if Serrano thinks that she's going to be the rougher of the two, I think she's going to misjudge the Irish Katie Taylor. So again, back in, lovely rear hand by Katie Taylor as she skirts on the outside of the ring, and Serrano is trying to get her up the corner. Again, Katie Taylor comes back with a couple of shots, and inside, Serrano trying to get some uppercuts in, trying to get some little hooks in. They're broken by the referee. Straight back in again with a rear hand by Katie Taylor. Again, two lovely shots finishing with a left hook by Katie Taylor. And again, as coming forward, again, another left hook by Katie Taylor. Serrano just ploughing forward. Katie Taylor just reacting, and just the speed of the girl. The thing is, how long will she be able to keep it up? Oh, and a final exchange. The bell's gone and they're still exchanging, and the ref didn't even hear the bell. But I'm telling you, I think that was another Katie Taylor round. I'll tell you what, I've got her 3 rounds ahead at this stage. Serrano, to me, looks like she's swinging and missing. It looks very calm in Taylor's corner, and this is what I thought was going to happen. Obviously, anything can change in any round, so I'm not sort of gloating before the fact. But Katie Taylor has made a fantastic start. She looks like she's in top form, and Serrano needs to keep doing what she's doing, but she needs to up the pace. She needs to up the pace, because it looks to me like Katie Taylor could do this all night. Okay, so let's have a look. Round 4. Let's start off again. The pattern of the fight has been established from the start. Again, Serrano throws out sort of speculative jabs. Okay, again, she's a good fighter though. You can see she's a very, very good fighter. Katie Taylor just inching backwards, and then straight back in with her punches, with a flurry, and then they tie up. Again, Serrano trying to punch while they've come together. Again, referee, good job of breaking them up. Again, she lunges a little bit. Good backhand there by Serrano. Oh, did she catch Katie Taylor then? It looks like she might be getting a bit closer. This is where the interesting part of the fight comes. Yeah, I think Serrano is getting a bit closer, which is what she wanted. And Katie Taylor now in fast, but is she going to be able to keep up that furious pace? Another swing and a miss by Serrano, and another punch back by Katie Taylor. And that is what's happening. Katie Taylor, again, 3 shots, fast. Again, she doesn't throw single shots. Katie Taylor lets her hands go. I mean, for any amateur boxers out there, Katie Taylor is a shining example of getting in and letting your hands go in multiple punches. They come together again there. Serrano still going forward. Katie Taylor just inching back whilst delivering combinations on the retreat. Again, that rear hand is finding the target a hell of a lot. Katie Taylor is having no problems with the southpaw stance of Amanda Serrano. And the end of that, I can't see at this point, I can't see how Katie Taylor hasn't won every round. Now, I haven't got the commentary on. It may be that I'm being super biased. I don't think I am. I'm thinking that Katie Taylor is doing superb, and that Serrano is struggling with the speed, the intensity, and the sheer class of Katie Taylor. Okay, so yeah, and then what's going on here? Showing a bit of a slow motion whereby Serrano sort of gives one in the clinch, and gets one straight back by Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor is not the sort of person who is going to let you try and bully her in the clinches. So we are looking at round 5 of a very, very interesting matchup. Straight away, Serrano comes out still jabbing, still trying to, throws a rear hand. They get into exchange again. It looks to me like Katie Taylor is getting the better of that exchange. Again, she's just sort of out of range, in, landing the punches, out of range, in, landing the punches. Serrano is going for it. And Katie Taylor is up the corner and basically, to me, just looks, well, she's took a few there, but she's back with her own. And this is toe-to-toe stuff up the corner. Serrano has got Katie Taylor up the corner. She's wobbled her there. She's wobbled her. Oh, Katie Taylor needs to get out of that corner. That was the best that I've seen Serrano do. You cannot let Serrano stand in front of you and trade like that. And Serrano definitely has done well in this round so far. Not all her own way. Katie Taylor is coming back with her own. But I tell you what, Serrano, this is toe to toe. Why is Katie Taylor getting involved in this fight? She doesn't need to get involved in this fight. And she's coming off second best to Serrano, who has took over in this round. And I think Katie Taylor, who is holding on, Katie Taylor's getting beat here. She is getting beat. Why on earth has she changed the tactics from what it was? She has took a lot of big shots in this round, and this is a definite round for Serrano. Serrano is a tough, tough woman, and she's landing heavy shots. And Katie Taylor needs to get back to her boxing, because she's just standing in the pocket and trying to trade with Amanda Serrano. What a silly, silly strategy to do. She does not want to be doing this, and she's still doing it. She's done it for the whole round. She staggers back a little bit. Serrano is teeing off. This is ridiculous for Katie Taylor to have done this in this round. Yeah, I think she might have threw this fight away with that round. That was a big, big round for Amanda Serrano. I have to say, that was 10. It's a 10-9, but that was a big, big round for Amanda Serrano. Why on earth did Katie Taylor decide to, one, stay in the corner, and two, try and trade with the girl? That was ridiculous. If I was in her corner now, I would be saying, you are a boxer. You are not a toe-to-toe fighter like that. She took way too many punches in that round. You know, that, I talked about nervous moments for Katie Taylor, and I think Katie Taylor tried to prove that she was as big a fighter as Amanda Serrano, and she is not a fighter. She is a boxer. Katie Taylor needs to get back to her boxing and stop with the macho BS, I would say, because that is not the way that she wins this fight. I can't understand that when she had the first four rounds of just lovely boxing in and out, and then she chooses to trade with Amanda Serrano. That was ridiculous. And now Serrano is getting closer, he's landing shots, tries to use her shoulder there, naughty there by Amanda Serrano. He's trying to use those rough tactics. Katie Taylor at this point looks tired, and I'm not surprised given that last round where she took some massive, massive shots, and she is still taking big shots now. She looks unsteady on her feet. Her face looks like it's getting marked up. Serrano is proving what a hard and massive champion she is, but Katie Taylor is still coming back. Heart on this girl is unbelievable. Is this how she wants to sort of fight this fight? Is this sort of a, I want to show you that I can stand and trade with you? I think it's ridiculous tactics from Katie Taylor, this one. I think she's throwing away what looked like a quite straightforward way to beat her, which was to do the old Katie Taylor thing. Unless she just realised that she'd got to stand and trade, perhaps her energy was going down. But yeah, she is standing and trading with Serrano even now, and Serrano has landed some big shots on her, and yeah, still Serrano comes forward. Katie Taylor is still coming back with lots and lots of punches, but this has made it a very interesting fight. That was a definite nervous moment, and yeah, Serrano still piling forward. Katie Taylor, yeah, oh, she's trying to match her punch for punch. I still don't think this is great. Oh, the bigger punches are coming from Serrano, and when they look unsteady, it's Katie Taylor that looks unsteady. It's Katie Taylor that is getting marked up. And again, at the end of the round, Serrano, it looks strong, and I am going to give that 10-9 to Serrano, and Serrano is coming back. We have got 4 rounds left, and if Katie Taylor doesn't get on her bike and doesn't start to box again, I could easily see Serrano winning this. Katie Taylor listening to instruction intently. She doesn't need to get into this fight. I don't understand why she's doing this. You know, it's entertaining, don't get me wrong. It is entertaining. But she has been given her instructions, and she needs to listen to them as well, because at the minute, this sort of stand and trade tactic that she has tried for the last 2 rounds, I don't think is working. It's not her style of fighting, and it is Serrano's style of fighting. So let's fight to skill, and Serrano out again. Okay, so Katie Taylor, Serrano looks like she's having a little rest. I think she's stepped off a little bit. So the last 2 rounds may have took it out of Serrano as well. She's giving Katie Taylor a little bit of a breather here, and that may very well be her undoing, because Katie Taylor now is going to be able to regroup and come back. It definitely looks like Serrano is feeling the pace. Now they've got it as 59 to 55 for Serrano. What? Are you joking me? Are you joking me? Are they really saying that? I haven't got it there. I've got a totally different scorecard to that. I mean, that just shows you, that either shows my bias or their bias. But I don't think Serrano was, that's bizarre to me. I thought that Katie Taylor was controlling the first few rounds. Serrano definitely has had a good, strong couple of rounds. She's definitely had a round off in this round, but she's still ploughing forward. She's still landing shots. Katie Taylor doesn't look like she's having a good round either. I mean, they're both sort of just feeling each other out. Serrano is coming forward again. This is going to be a 10-9 to Serrano for me. It's a closer round, definitely. She definitely took the foot off the gas. Be interesting to see, other people's scorecards, because for me, I mean, they had a 59-55 up. No way, not for me, no way. Round 7, I do think though that is another round for Serrano. So on my scorecard, I've got it 4 rounds to 3 to Katie Taylor. But that's not what the unofficial scorecard was of the commentator that was on there. So presumably he's got them. Well, he'd only give Katie Taylor 1 round. Okay, Serrano now. That's a beautiful body shot there. Wide open to the body, actually, Katie Taylor there. That was a great body shot. This girl can punch. Okay, Katie Taylor does look concerned now. But I think a corner then saying you've got to go in and out. Serrano just looks a little tired, but I'm not surprised the pace that she has been fighting at. Again, Katie Taylor needs to get back to her boxing for me. Lovely in and out with them shots. Yeah, now Katie Taylor is getting back to landing lots of shots and getting in and out. It's going to be difficult because Serrano is just such a hard girl. She's just coming forward. And how do you stop a girl that doesn't stop coming forward? But Katie Taylor, again, she does look tired, but she's hitting her with that rear hand there. Okay, and then Serrano still coming forward. She hasn't took a backward step, I don't think, Serrano, during this fight. And Katie Taylor has been on the back foot the whole time. I don't know if the American commentator is looking at that as if Serrano's winning, but surely that early work by Katie Taylor can't be ignored. I mean, she was boxing beautiful. Strange, very strange, but that's boxing scoring for you. It's all subjective. This round I think Katie Taylor is doing better, but Serrano again looks at this point to be the stronger of the two. But in that exchange, Katie Taylor comes out better in that exchange. Serrano still forward, still trying to press. Katie Taylor on the back foot again. Again, multiple punches. Again, I would say Katie Taylor there did better in that exchange. And I think Serrano, it's definitely the last round looked like she was having a little bit of a rest. She looks like she's got a bit of a second wind now. Again, Katie Taylor in, landing her punches and out. So I think that is better. There, good punch at the end there by Serrano. Again, very close. Very close for me. Yeah, I think that was a Katie Taylor round. I have to say, I think that was Katie Taylor round. That was close though, but it was almost like she got back to her boxing a little bit more, and it was almost like Serrano, I'm not going to say she's blew herself out, but the rounds when she poured it on, round 5, round 6 and round 7, must have took a lot out of her. And has she got anything left? Okay, but they look quite calm in the corner. They don't look too animated. But Serrano does look a little bit disconsolate, which, again, I haven't got the commentary up that high. You know, I can't hear the commentary, but that scorecard is still puzzling me now, 2 rounds after I saw it. Okay, so we've got 2 rounds left, and I think this is still all to play for. Again, Katie Taylor did very, very well to come through what was a very difficult period of this fight. And now it looks like she's back on, being on the outside, coming back in with her barrages of punches, fast hands. Yeah, again, Serrano, same as in round 1, ploughing forward, trying to get the big shots in. She's definitely the harder puncher out of the 2. Katie Taylor is the faster puncher. Again, they sort of tie up. Serrano tries to sort of do a little bit of roughing up, but you know, that was fine. The ref, unsteady legs there by Katie Taylor, but again, she's in, she's using her angles, she's landing her shots, back to her boxing, which is what I think she should have done the whole time. Serrano swinging and missing. Yeah, it's good though, it's good. About a minute left in this round, round 9. Again, punches going on while they come together. It's who is strongest, who has got the stamina. Still, the faster puncher in the exchange is Katie Taylor, definitely. The ref's done a good job. I think he has done a good job, definitely. Big swing and a miss by Serrano. Okay, Katie Taylor in, again, boom, boom, boom. Lovely shots as she comes in. Serrano just methodically pouring forward. And when they're in close, you're getting some big shots in while they're in close. Katie Taylor lets her do it, and then they come together, and Katie Taylor reverting again back to those fast shots in little salvos. 15 seconds left. Serrano still ploughing forward. Oh, she landed a big shot there, I think. Yeah. Again, George rocks Serrano back onto her heels. What a fight. What a fight. Boom. Yeah, I think that was a close round as well. I'm going to give it... The cleaner punches come from Taylor. The heavier punches, it looks like it's coming from Serrano. I'm going to go Serrano that round. I really am. I'm going to go Serrano. It's the final round. That could have been either way for me, because the cleaner punches definitely were coming from Katie Taylor, but I think that heavier punches are coming from Serrano. So this is the last round. I'll top my score up in a moment, but this has been a great contest. Great contest. Okay, really geeing her up now. Geeing her up. Interesting to see. Okay, just trying to find out what the commentary team are saying now. Okay, and Serrano G's up the crowd by going like this with her arms. They touch gloves at the start of the final round. 2 minutes. and they are both going at him. Serrano on the front foot again. Katie Taylor on the back foot, as has been the story of this fight. Inside fighting, Katie Taylor looking to hold, and then with a free hand, Serrano looking at 86. So the scorecard on the screen, they've evened that up in the last 3 rounds. Oh right, okay, I'll see what they've done. Okay, so it is a very close fight, definitely a close fight, so we'll see. But this last round, Katie Taylor gets the better of that exchange. And the better of that exchange, Serrano is throwing punches, trying to work on the inside. Katie Taylor's the one that's holding. There's a minute left. This is close. This is close. And Katie Taylor again. Serrano coming forward. What a great contest. And in the last round, oh, beautiful shot there by Katie Taylor. And Katie Taylor for the first time was ploughing forward, and she's now pushing Serrano back in almost like an act of defiance to say, I'm the stronger girl. And she's coming, lovely shots there. She's pushing down on Serrano's 33 seconds left. Just trying to wear her out. Serrano, in my opinion, what a warrior. These girls, both warriors. These exchanges here, Katie Taylor, still, oh, what an exchange at the end. They're both just going at it, toe for toe, toe to toe. What a fight. This is brilliant. Oh, and Katie Taylor lands some big shots right at the end. What a fight. Oh, but then Serrano's landed. What an absolute war that was. What an absolute war. Whew. If you're going to go, oh, that could easily have been a 10-10 that last round, and I don't like to give 10-10s. Serrano's got a hand in the air. Okay, she's blooded Katie Taylor. Okay, but what a fight. For me, it could go either way, because that last round, if you give it to Serrano, I would have that as a draw. And last round, if you give it to Katie Taylor, and Katie Taylor wins, I'd give that last round as a 10-10. So difficult to score. I'll tell you what, if that was a draw, I wouldn't be disappointed. That was a great fight. For me, the story of the fight was the first 4 rounds was Katie Taylor boxing lovely. Then she lost her way where she tried to go toe to toe with Serrano at her own game, and it didn't work, especially in round 5, which was a terrible round for Katie Taylor. Round 5, 6 and 7 I thought was Serrano, and then it was sort of some very close rounds where Serrano sort of had a bit of a rest. Katie Taylor sort of was managed to get back in the fight, but for me that was awesome fight. Be very interested to see the score totals here. I'll just turn up that there so I can hear. Katie Taylor definitely looks the most like blooded out of the 2, definitely. Serrano, she just having her rival gloves taken off. The gloves being given to the commissioner there, it looks like. But let's just hear what the commentary team are saying. Ooh, so this is close. This is close. I would say, from my scorecard, I think Katie Taylor just. But we will see. Now there's totting up the totals. That was fantastic. Fantastic. I tell you what, women's boxing is really high standard. I would watch a rematch of that. That could even be a trilogy, the way that these pair are. Very good. David Diamante is going to give us the scores, and I wouldn't be too unhappy if Serrano won in a close decision. Here we go. Yeah, show the appreciation for 2 fantastic champions. If it was Serrano close, I wouldn't say anything. If it was Katie Taylor close, I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't say anything if it was a draw. That was a close fight. Here we go. Here we go. 96, 94, Amanda Serrano. 97, 93, Katie Taylor. Told you. I thought Katie Taylor had the early rounds. I'll give you my score at the end. 96, 93, split decision. And still, Katie Taylor, I told you, I knew that Katie Taylor had got the early rounds. I knew it. I couldn't understand when it came up on the screen. I couldn't understand. Let me just add up my scores. We've got 10, 19, 29. My maths is rubbish. I used to work in a bank. 9, 18, 27, 36. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 60. So we got 96 to 95, I think I had, which was 9, 18, 27, 36, 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 45, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50, that's 95. 96 to 95, I had it in favour of Katie Taylor. She is still undisputed. She was superb in certain rounds, especially those early rounds. I think Serrano is such a great champion. They need to get a rematch there for definite, because there was some times in there where Serrano looked very, very impressive. I think Katie Taylor should have boxed. Perhaps she didn't have it in her to box for the whole of the 10 rounds, especially with the pressure that Serrano was giving her. But certainly, for me, Irish eyes are smiling tonight. That is for certain. And Katie Taylor, thoroughly deserved. As I said before the announcement was made, I think that it could have gone either way. I mean, that last round for me, I did it as a 10-10. It could have gone either way. I really do think that. And but it looks like the American commentators started to sort of in the last round say that it was Katie Taylor. So their story of their fight is that Serrano started really well and that Katie Taylor finished very strong. But my story of the fight is first 4 rounds Katie Taylor, middle 3 rounds Serrano, and then sort of a mix of Serrano and Katie Taylor in the last 4. Last 3. These 10 rounds are confusing me. I normally work to 12 rounds. I need to let them fight 12 rounds. And they're just interviewing her now. Yeah, fair play to her. I think that's a great victory, and I think a rematch would be due. Yeah, and Katie Taylor so magnanimous in that win when she's talking, and they were both very respectful before as well. But there's all the belts around her. She's got the Irish flag around her. Yeah, she did have to dig. Absolutely, she had to dig. Yeah, she knew that she was going to be in the trenches, and she was in the trenches. So Eddie Hearn has won his bet. Fair play to Eddie. He's rubbing his hands together. That was super fight, super close for me. Super fight, super close. I just think the better boxer was Katie Taylor. The better fighter was Serrano. And I'm just puzzled as to why Katie Taylor would want to fight with a fighter when she is a boxer. The only reason I can think that is the power that Serrano was landing, and also the fact that that she maybe didn't have enough in the tank to box Serrano in that way for all of the rounds. But that was superb. Really, really enjoyed this. I can get this onto YouTube. Yeah, I had 96, 95. Great fight. And I think, yeah, Serrano saying, they say people don't want to see women. They do, definitely do. Hell of a show. Yeah, fantastic. And yeah, really agreed that. Really enjoyed that. Sorry, really enjoyed that. Two very, very good boxers. Very respectful at the end. And the crowd, yeah, amazing crowd, headlining, and yet women can fight. Love what's happening with women's boxing at the minute, really do. So I'm going to end it there. Hope you've enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe to Fit to Box channel, and I shall speak to you soon.